Yo guys, this is your artist Tolg, and today I will show you how to draw Vegeta Super Saiyan God with the fire aura. And as always, make sure to watch the whole video, like the video and subscribe, that would be a huge support. So as always, we need an A4 size paper in portrait mode, a pencil, an eraser and a ruler, and of course you can find the links to the materials I'm using in the info box below. Now we're gonna halve the paper and then we will add a 3cm guideline for the face around in the middle of the paper so we have enough space for the hair and the aura in the end, and then we are good to go. And then we can already start on the guideline with the eyes. We are starting from the middle with the eyebrows and the wrinkles between the eyebrows. Make sure to draw the eyebrows the same height, and the eyes we will draw with 3 lines and the bottom line will be curved a little. Then we will draw the big iris in the center of the eyes with pupils in the middle of the iris. And then we will continue with the nose and mouth, and these we will place in the center of the face, and therefore the vertical line is very helpful and you will give Vegeta a nice smirk. Now some wrinkles under the eyes, and then we can draw the face shape. Vegeta is slightly turned to the side, so we will adjust the face shape that way, and as you can see I'm starting very roughly with the face and kinda figuring out the shape of it. And I'm also kinda use the guidelines to form the face shape as well. And now I will shape the big forehead, which has a heart-like form, and make sure to draw both sides of them the same height. The ears we will place next to the eyes with a more edgy than round shape. Great, then we are already done with the face and we can move on to the hair. Here as well, we're gonna draw the shape of it first with lots of big individual hair strands. I like to draw each hair strand quite different with different sizes and shapes to give the hair some more dynamics. And when you're happy with the shape, we can draw the hair more detailed. And now we will add hairlines to the hair with the same direction as the hair strands to finish up the head part. Perfect, I love the head, and now we will draw the upper body, which is slightly turned to the side, and here as well we are starting with the rough shape of the torso and the armor. As you can see, I'm forming the muscles, the pose and the armor very roughly just to get an idea of the shape. This is definitely the easiest way to draw, especially for beginners. I'm also constantly erasing all the unnecessary pencil lines to keep the sketch as clean as possible, but also not to be irritated and distracted by them, and also for you to follow me easier. And as you can see, I'm starting with the armor. Now as we got the rough form already, now we basically just have to improve the shape and give everything the details. This battle armor has no shoulder protection, only some straps. It also has no lower body protection, like the first battle armors we saw. It's a way more simple armor. We are outlining the pec area and also the abdominal part, and the armor will be very tight on the body. And same as for the shoulder straps, the abdominal part also has some lines on the yellow armor part. Okay, the armor looks good so far, and now we will draw the arms. Vegeta is wearing a long full body suit, which is also very tight on its body, and that means we can see the form and definition of the muscles very well. This arm we are drawing right now we can see fully, and the other arm is more behind the body as Vegeta is turned, and to draw both arms perfectly equal we are using a ruler to check if the shoulders, upper and lower arms are on the same level. And also for this arm we can see the inner side more, and by that I mean that the bicep and the palm of the hand is facing to us. I'm also adjusting this side of the armor as I find it not perfect enough. Great, and now we can continue with the lower arm, and here as well I'm drawing the shape of it with the fist, and Vegeta is wearing some big gloves which covers half of his lower arm. Now we will give the forearm some big muscles and definition, and then we can draw the fist more detailed. So now we have to draw the bended fingers with the thumb on top, and also the knuckles will be very prominent. Looks good, and now we will draw the small part of the legs which we can see by drawing the shape of them first, and then we can also give them legs, some defined muscles, but drawing legs is very easy compared to draw the upper body. And yes, that's already it for the legs, and to finish up the sketch, we will now complete the other arm. Checking if the arm are on the same level, and then we can draw this side the same way as we drew the previous arm. But as I said, on this one, the palm of the hand will face to us. Other than that, same process by drawing the bended fingers with the thumb on top. Alright guys, the sketch is done and I think it looks pretty good. Now we will ink this, and therefore we need a high quality pen, and now we are tracing the whole sketch, which for me is very relaxing. Take your time on this, and after erasing we will give this one a very detailed second and third layer of ink. So now we are jumping right into the third layer of ink, and that means we will add huge black shades to Vegeta and also some thick lines on the outer parts of the line art. We will make the line art as clean, accurate and detailed as possible. We are using the face features, wrinkles, hairlines, muscles, the clothes, the armor and the definition of everything to add these black shades to Vegeta. This is like a pre-coloring for the darkest parts, and this way your drawing will look amazing even with no colors. This obviously takes a lot of time, patience and ink, but as you can see, it looks amazing already, and for me this is also very fun to do. So now we are basically doing this for the entire drawing, and if this is your first time inking like this, just watch how I do it first and then try to do the same thing for your own drawing. Alright guys, here we have the final inked version with these heavy black shades and lots of details, and as I said, it looks amazing. Now take a little break if you want, and then we can do the coloring, and therefore I'm using Copic Show markers, ATEX markers and Ohuhu markers, but of course you can use any markers you want, even colored pencils. So we will start with the eye part, and therefore we need a strong red for the base and a slightly darker red for the shades. We will also add a white dot to each eyeball and some gray shades for the eyes. Continuing with the hair, we will use a strong red tone for the base tone, and we will color the whole hair strand, but we leave the outer part and closer to the spike white, so we can color that part with a pink tone for the brighter areas. Then we are using the darker red along the dark shades, and then an even darker red tone to give the hair even more definition and deepness. With multiple red tones plus the black shades, the hair will look amazing, and this is how we will continue for the entire hair. Alright guys, the hair is done and it looks great. Now we will color the skin, starting with a very bright skin tone, and we will carefully cover the whole face, but leaving white parts on the outer part of the face to give it another brighter layer. Then we are using a darker skin tone, and we are adding the shades along the black shading and more on the inner part of the face. And then we are using a darker brown tone to increase the deepness of the shades along the black parts. Very good. That was the only skin area which we can see of Vegeta, so now we can move on to the armor. Starting with the yellow parts, and we will start with a medium yellow for the base, and we are also leaving white parts for the shiny effect. Then a more golden tone for the shading, also along the black shades. And then we are using an even darker golden tone for some deeper shades, also along the black shading. And we will do the same thing for the shoulder straps. Perfect. The main color of the armor is gray, and therefore we are using a blue-gray, and we need 3 different tones of that. Starting with the brightest tone and giving the chest and side abdominal area some big shading, and here as well we are leaving white parts. Then we are using the next darker tone, and we will add some more shading along the black shades, and after that an even darker blue-gray tone, and with this just some small touches just to increase the deepness of the shading. And then to finish up the armor, we are using an even brighter tone for the outlines with some small shades along the black shading. And same thing for the gloves. We are using the same 3 tones we used for the armor, and we will color the gloves the same way. It's a very simple process, especially after we did the black shading. Now we basically just use them for orientation to add the brighter shades to Vegeta. Alright guys, and now to the last part, which is also the largest part to color the blue suit. We are using a marine blue tone for the base, and we are covering the whole shoulder except of some white parts, which we will color with a sky blue, and then a way darker blue tone to add some darker shading along the muscle definition and of course along the black shading. And as you can see, with these black shades, the drawing pops out even more. And one more thing you can keep in mind while doing the coloring is, the closer you are to the black shades, the darker you have to color, and the further away you are from the black shades, the brighter that area is going to be. There are really some very simple rules and tricks you can use while drawing, so always make it as easy and simple as possible. Now we will color the rest of the suit the same way, and then we can draw the aura. Vegeta is done, and now we will surround him with a fire aura. We are using a bright marker, and now we will draw the shape of the aura first, and for the aura we need a few yellow and orange tones, and right now we will draw each layer from dark to bright. Of course, for the outermost part we will use the darkest tone, and basically closer to Vegeta the aura gets brighter. So a very dark orange on the outermost area. Next we have a medium orange, then bright orange, then medium yellow, and very close to Vegeta a very bright yellow tone. We are now doing each layer very carefully and patiently, and then we are almost done. So guys, and now to finish up the drawing, we are using a white gel pen and adding lots of white dots all over the aura and Vegeta. Alright guys, last touch, and then Vegeta Super Saiyan God with the fire aura and third layer of ink is done. I think it's a very good drawing, I really like it, and I hope you guys learned something today. It was definitely not easy, lots of details, so let me know in the comments how good you did. Alright guys, now let me know in the comments what you think of this. Also give me inspiration for future tutorials and like the video to show me your support. You can also support me on Patreon if you appreciate my work, that would be amazing. I will of course upload this on full time on my real time channel so you can follow my steps even easier. And the one and only original drawing is now available on Etsy, and for commissions message me on Instagram. And if your custom drawing fits to my channel, I will make a video out of it and mention your name in the video. All the links down below in the info box, including the links to the materials I'm using. That's it guys, thank you all for watching and I see you on the next